Hi, welcome to today's Yin Yoga practice. I will be guiding you into each pose. Do not feel like you need to come into your fullest version of that pose. Just come to the point where you feel sensation, and then we will relax into the pose and hold the pose for about 1 to 2 minutes. During this time, you can focus on your breathing or be mindful of any sensations you're feeling, or you could even use the pose to practice meditation or prayer. So let's go ahead and begin. We'll start in child's pose. So coming over onto the hands and knees, go ahead and sit the hips back onto the heels. Knees can be together or apart. And then begin to lower the forehead down to the ground. Coming into stillness. Focusing on the breath. Leaving behind whatever you were doing before you came to practice. And trying not to worry too much about what will come after. Go ahead and slowly raise yourself up to a tabletop position. And from here, we'll lower down onto the belly, placing the forearms down onto the ground. Legs long behind us. And you can play with the position of the legs. Maybe you want them closer together, or maybe you want them a little bit further apart. And then hands can rest flat on the ground, or you can clasp the hands together, pressing the forearms into the ground. Neck is relaxed and neutral. Coming into stillness here. Focusing on the breath or any bodily sensations. And from here, begin to lower the forehead down onto the palms. And then just sway the hips from side to side. And from here, we'll make our way to tabletop. Maybe flow through a couple of cat-cow. So inhaling to lift the tailbone, chin and chest. And then exhale to round the back, tuck the chin, tuck the tailbone. Do that a couple more times. Inhaling to lift the tailbone and chest. Exhale to round the back. From here, come back to your neutral tabletop position and we'll move into thread the needle. So take the right arm underneath the left, placing the shoulder down onto the ground, placing the right ear down onto the ground. And then you have the option to stretch the left arm overhead. You may even want to tuck the chin just a bit and maybe even tuck the tailbone. Take a moment to make any minor adjustments you need to get the best position for your body. And then we'll find our place of stillness. You can go ahead and stay in this position, or you have the option to take the left toes out to the side and then straighten the left leg, opening up the chest a bit more. If your left leg is straight, go ahead and send the knees slowly back down to the ground and make your way back to your tabletop position. Maybe flow through a couple of cat-cow again, lifting the tailbone, chin and chest. Exhale, rounding the back. Inhale to arch the back. Exhale, round. And then we'll move into thread the needle on the left side. So take your left arm, send it underneath the right, placing the left shoulder down onto the ground. And then the right arm can stretch out long overhead. Again, make any small, gentle adjustments you need to feel your best in this pose. I like to tuck my chin and tuck my tailbone slightly. Coming to the place where you can remain still and mindful. And again, you have the option to stay here or take the right toes out to the side and then straighten the right leg. If your right leg is straight, you can go ahead and slowly send the knee back down to the ground. And then gently make your way back to your tabletop position. From here, you can do a couple of cat-cow again, so arching the back. Inhale, exhale, round the back. Inhale to lift the chest and tailbone. Exhale to round the chin down, tuck the tailbone, and come back to neutral. From here, we'll go into puppy pose, so keeping the hips above the knees. Go ahead and take the arms out in front of you, lowering the chest down to the ground. Maybe the forehead finds the ground, or maybe even the chin. And then slowly press yourself back up to tabletop. And then send the hips back for child's pose. Resting here just a moment. Go ahead and make your way back to your tabletop position. And we'll come into sleeping swan or pigeon on the right side. So take the right knee to the back of the right wrist, and then let the foot fall somewhere between the left hand and left hip. Let the left leg stretch out long behind you. And you have the option to stay here with the chest lifted, or you can begin to fold over that right leg. Letting ourselves relax into stillness. And if you're folded over your leg, begin to slowly lift the chest. And then roll over onto your right hip, pull the left knee forward, and then begin to straighten the right leg out in front of you. So keeping the left foot near the hip, we'll make our way into a half straddle position. So from here, you can go ahead and begin to come back onto the forearms. So option to stay here, or you can begin to lower all the way down and let the arms go overhead. Feeling sensation in the top of the left thigh, maybe a bit of a back bend. softening into stillness. If your arms are overhead, begin to slowly bring them back down to your sides, and then pressing into the forearms and the hands. Slowly lift yourself back up to sitting, rolling over onto the right hip, and then straightening the left leg out in front of you. Place the left sole of the foot down onto the ground and let the knee fall out to the side. And then pull the sole of the foot into the right thigh, coming into half butterfly. And then we'll begin to slowly allow ourselves to melt over the right leg. The back can round. And then you have the option of resting the forehead down onto the hands. Hands can be on the shins. Or you can just rest with the forearms on the ground, letting the chin drop to the chest, finding what works best for you, and then coming to your place of meditation and quiet. And slowly begin to lift the chest. And then we'll make our way into pigeon or sleeping swan on the left. So just roll over onto the left hip. Take the right leg behind you. And then readjust yourself so the left knee is behind the left wrist and the foot is somewhere between the right hand and right hip. Right leg stretches out long behind you. You have the option to stay up on the hands or folding over that left leg. Finding the place where you can remain still. If you're folded over your leg, go ahead and slowly lift the chest. And then rock over onto the left hip. And then pull the right knee forward. Straighten out the left leg. And we'll make our way into that half saddle pose on the other side. So right foot is pulled in close to the hip. And then begin to lower down onto the forearms. So you have the option to stay here, or you can go ahead and lower all the way down, reaching overhead with the arms. So noticing a slight back bend here, and then a stretch down the front of the right thigh. If your arms are overhead, go ahead and place them down beside you. Pressing into the forearms and hands, slowly lift the chest. Coming back to sit. And then roll over onto the left hip and send the right leg out long in front of you. Place the right sole of the foot down onto the ground. Let the knee fall out to the side, coming into half butterfly on the other side. Pull the right sole of the foot into the left thigh. And then we'll begin to allow the chest to round down over the left leg. Hands can remain down on the floor along the leg, or you can rest the hands on the shin. And then allow the forehead to rest down on the hands. And then slowly begin to lift the chest. Take the right leg down long. And then place both soles of the feet down onto the ground. Let the knees fall out to the sides, coming into butterfly. And then you can pull the feet as close into the body as you like, or you can have them a little further away from the body. And from here, we'll begin to round the back, tuck the chin, slowly folding over the legs, resting here, finding stillness in our place of meditation. And slowly begin to lift your chest. And we'll make our way to a reclined position. Coming onto the back, pull the knees into the chest. Just take a moment to rock from side to side. And then keep the right knee pulled into the chest. Let the left leg go down along the mat. And with your left hand, pull the right knee across the body, coming into a twist. Right arm can go out long to the side. And gaze can be up at the ceiling, or you can allow the head to shift to the right so that the gaze is at the right hand. And slowly roll back to center. Let the right leg go long down the mat. Pull the left knee into the chest. And then send the left arm out to the side. And with the right hand, pull the left knee across the body. And then gaze can be up at the ceiling. The head can shift to the left so that the gaze is over toward the left hand. Slowly come back to center. Send the left leg down the mat long, coming into our final resting pose. Feet can be wider than hips width. Let the feet fall out to the sides. And then arms can rest down beside you with the palms facing up. or you could even have the arms more overhead and out to the side. Maybe taking the first several breaths to scan from the tips of the toes to the top of the head, noticing if you're holding tension anywhere, and allowing that tension to melt away on your exhales. Allowing the floor to support the full weight of the body. So this is where I will leave you today. Stay here as long as you need. Thank you for practicing with me.